Hello, I'm Cody, and this is my nonfiction book share. The title of my book is The Crayon Man, The True Story of the Invention of the Crayola Crayons. On the left, you'll see the cover page of the book, and the author is Natasha Bebo. Publication date is 2019, and illustrator is Steven Salerno. Awards this has won is the NSTA Best STEM Books for 2020. The NSTA STEM books advocate for creativity, new ideas, and exploring those new ideas. For a read aloud version of the book, you can click the word here. This is the front and back end pages. I really like this because it offers interactive activities, because if you see on the lower right side, it says choose a color, give it a name, and draw a picture. It has the opportunity for people that have the book to give crayon colors their own names. And you also see on the left side, the man with all the crayons, it says Razzmatazz, Robin's Egg Blue, Jungle Green, and Marvelous. It says, what child doesn't love to hold a crayon in their hands? But children didn't always have the magical boxes of crayons. Before Irwin Binney set out to change things, most children couldn't afford colored crayons. I like this just because it has the crayons, it's very vibrant, and it sets this tone for the rest of the story. This is the title page. You see that is Irwin Benning holding colors, and you can see just the author again and the illustrator and then the title. This is the beginning of the book. It starts out, once there was a man who saw color everywhere. He noticed the yellow-orange petals of the black-eyed Susans in his garden. He marveled at the rich scarlet-red tones of the cardinal's feathers. He admired the deep blue greens of the waves and sea. Color made him really, really happy. And this, you see on the left side, is Irwin Benning. And he is going to be the creator of the crayon, so it kind of connects with the colors and how he sees everything and how many colors we actually have today. But this is where he worked, and it says, but all day long at work he saw was black dust, black tar, black smoke, black ink, black dye, black shoe polish. The company he actually had sold printing inks, electric sheet lamps, and stove and shoe polish, and they also made rubber for tires as well. But he was also good for making different inventions for people's needs. He made a gray kind of like chalk for the little kid. He made the white chalk for the teacher to write on the board, and he made a black kind of like crayon for people to write on boxes. And but they actually wrote on boards because it says in the right corner that paper was too expensive. So they would have like how we had like the mini whiteboards for children, they had mini chalkboards. His wife, Alice, was actually the one that gave him the idea of characteristics for a crayon, and come to find out, she was actually a teacher. So, teacher relationship there. But she wanted something that wasn't crumbly and didn't break very easy and that didn't make a huge line, and that was actually affordable because foreign crayons were too expensive. So he tried to think about the inventions he's already made and kind of incorporate their characteristics by modifying them a little bit. So you have the slate pencil, you have the chalk, and then you have the black crayon. And he's kind of thinking about how he can combine those to make the perfect crayon. This is where he's actually experimenting with the mixture of crayons. So I think this touches on science because you have to get the formula just right to make the crayon with the wax and other material he used. Um, he they actually covered how they made crayons in Europe, and they were from charcoal and oil, but Edwin tried using wax instead. So he kind of knew a formula, but he modified it to his own original one. This is where they actually started making the color crayons. So, and a cool fact is they actually used rocks and minerals such as, where is it at? Hematite and red iron, carbon black, zinc oxide, and a whole bunch of different other ones to make the actual solid colors. And then they started thinking about different shades. And you can see on the left how he's experimenting with the color blue and some other ones to change the shades of, because if you just have the single colors, you're not going to have that much, but you can have the different shades of blue, you can have the different shades of red. And this one, they're actually trying to formulate another formula for it to where it's safe for kids, because he did consider how kids would be using these and how they might be chewing on them and putting them in their mouth. So he didn't want to make them toxic for children. And I love how you can see all the different colors on the people from making the crayons and just lay it out front, and then you can tell they're definitely thinking by the expressions on their face. He finally was able to make the crayons, and again his wife Alice did have a good input on what the name of the company should be. And she said, let's mix the French word cray for a stick of chalk and the word ola from the word oleaginous, meaning oily like the oily texture from the crayon wax, to invent the new word. And you can see on the right side in his ear, he said Crayola. And that's how the wonderful crayons got their names today. And this is where they actually tested the crayons with the children to see if they actually liked it, and they did. They loved the crayons. They loved the different vibrant colors, how they drew skinny lines, how they could draw the thicker lines, and just all the colors, being able to draw with them and color with them, and overall they just loved them. This is where they had created many different names such as Sunglow, Robin's Egg Blue, Wild Watermelon, and we've all seen the funky names they give them. So it's amazing how many names they can come with, and they're still coming up with colors today. This is actually pictures of the process today, in our time, because during their time they made it a different way, but we've progressed over the time, and you, at the end of the pictures, you see the number 10 picture. That is the final product of the Crayola box. The Crayon Man is classified in the Library of Congress as a juvenile nonfiction. And here's my sources. Overall, this was a great book. I tried, in my slideshow, I tried to incorporate different slides that had colors on them to represent the different colors of crayons. And I picked this book because we've all used crayons when we were younger. Well, most of us, I don't want to assume, but we used them so much we never. I personally thought, like, how were these made? But I kind of assumed that were wax and mold and everything. But we used them so much we actually never really thought, hey, where did this come from? Like a lot of other things in our life that we use. But I really recommend this book. It's a good children's book. even if it's informational. It makes it interactive. It has the vibrant colors and illustrations like you've seen in the slideshow before. And again, I have to brag about the end pages. They are amazing with how you can decorate your own crayons. And again, I really recommend this book. So, thank you.